Hello everyone, let's start with a new video of Magento Marketplace Vendor Attribute Manager. This module is very much beneficial for admin, customers and as well as for the sellers. Admin can create different attributes for the sellers to fill information about them in registration page, and those information will be displayed or can be displayed on profile page of sellers. So the benefit of the customer is the customer will develop a trust factor by seeing all the detailed information about the sellers, and this will be a great benefit for the marketplace. So in this video I'm going to show you how admin can set vendor attribute and how does these attribute works. So to create vendor attributes, we have to log into our admin panel. So here is our admin panel. You can see our dashboard. So we have to configure this module by going on system configuration. So here you can see vendor attribute configuration. So under vendor attribute configuration, there are many fields. So first field is visible on registration page. The attributes which the admin will make will be visible on registration page or not, visible on profile page, file display on vendor profile. If you select visible on profile page, then the attribute will be shown to the profile page, or if you select no, then the attribute will not show on the profile page of the sellers. File display on vendor profile, if you select it as yes, then the files uploaded by the sellers will display on the seller's profile page. If you select no, then the files will not display to the vendor profile page. And image display on vendor profile page, if you select image display on vendor profile page as yes, then the images will be shown to the vendor profile page, and if you select no, then it will not shown in the vendor profile page. Allowed extension for images, you can allow these extensions or you can add more extensions to allow the sellers to upload images in these formats. Allow extension for files, vendor can only upload these files to his profile or to his account, or you can add more profile extensions. Seller profile label for attribute, from here you have to write the label under which all the attributes will be shown. So you can set seller info, you can set seller know your seller, or you can write anything according to your marketplace. So I have written seller information, then you can save the configuration from here. After saving the configuration, you have to go to marketplace management, and here you can find vendor attribute manager. So in vendor attribute manager, you can find a list of existing attributes. So here you can easily edit by clicking on any attribute. You can easily modify an existing attribute. You can the attribute code, you cannot change the attribute code because this is unique for each attribute. You can, here is the input type, you cannot change the input type because once it is selected it will not be changed. you can select values required, then it will be a mandatory field or required field. Now here is the next field is input validation. Here you can validate the response or the entered information of the seller. Front-end properties, here you have to set the front-end properties. Here is the field order. You can write any order in which you want to show this attribute. Now after properties we will move to manage label options. So you can change the display name of the attribute. This is test attribute. You can add options to this attribute. You can also delete options from this attribute. Now all the modification can be saved by the save attribute. So here you can see a success message that attribute has been successfully saved. You can also add new attribute. Here is attribute code. So now I will show you how you can easily add new attribute for the vendor. So here is attribute code, additional info. Now input type is text area. Here your sellers can easily write anything on the text area about them. If you have, the next field is the editor. Seller can add editor, use editor or not. Values required, you can set it as mandatory field or not. Input validation, you can validate their your reply or information easily from here. Now here is front-end properties, where you want to show your attribute. Now here is the order. I will write it at 4, or you can leave it blank if you want this attribute to be shown at the last. Now after properties we will move to the manage label and option. Here you have to write the label for admin, for you can also add options like any option, hobbies or anything else, or you can remove this. Now I'm gonna save this attribute. So here is my new attribute, additional info, additional information. So now I will select it to display on seller profile. Yes. Now I will submit it. Oh, so here I have to select display on seller profile. Now I will submit it. Yes. So now you can see the display on seller profile is yes. Now we will go to the registration page for the sellers. Seller can register from here. Under quick links you can see vendor registration, personal information of the seller, Jason Doe is our demo seller, email address, now for the newsletter sign up. Now here is vendor information, shop URL, additional information. This is the field which we have created right now. So here you can see a text box is given to your seller to add additional information about them. So after filling all the information, seller can submit. Oh, here I have to write the password. Now I will submit this, and here you can see my new seller account has been created. So here is our dashboard. Now we will go to the admin panel and go to the customers, manage customers, and approve the seller. Here is Jason. We will select him, and or we will go to edit, and we will go to do you want to make this customer as seller? Approve seller. Click on approve seller, then save this customer. So when we have saved the customer as a seller, now I will refresh my seller's account, and here you can see all the marketplace options are shown here. So now we will see the seller profile where that additional information is shown. So here you can see the information panel. So here is our seller information. All the vendor attributes are shown here. So our additional information is in first place, hello demo additional information. So you can see how you can easily add new attribute and show it on the seller's profile. So that's how the seller attribute work. So now we will add a product, new product, and after adding a new product we will log in as a new customer. Then we will see how seller profile is being displayed and where the additional information has been shown. So now I will save a demo product on decors. So now I will log out from my sellers panel. Now I am as a customer. Now as customer I can see the product of our Jason Doe seller, our demo seller. So here it is shown Jason Doe. I will click on Jason Doe and see his profile. So here is his profile, and seller information, additional information is shown here, hello demo additional information. So that's how the customer can build relation and trust with the seller. So, and it will be very much beneficial for the whole marketplace and its users. Admin can also see the informations of the sellers by clicking on edit, and here all the information of the seller is shown, and on account information the attributes will be shown. Here is additional information and it is shown here. So that's all for the vendor attribute manager. I hope you have understood how to create a vendor attribute and how vendor can fill attributes and show it on vendor profile page. Thank you for watching this video. Stay connected.